mice have more precision. That's not true. Okay, it's you have plenty of precision within your thumbs. Your thumbs, fingers in general, have the smallest muscles.
I don't know if that's true. Let me look it up. Nope.
And they are the fastest, most powerful muscles. I know this because I'm a drummer.
Nope.
And so it would make absolutely no sense at all to say that you'd have more precision in your wrist than with your fingers, but
Perhaps that's true. Perhaps that's very true. In fact, I'm inclined to believe that your fingers do have more control and coordination than your wrist does. However, a mouse isn't moved just with your fingers, and it's not moved just with your wrists. It's moved with everything all at once. Your wrists, your fingers, it all comes together on the mouse to give you the precision. You're not limiting yourself to either. You get both.
so I don't really believe that. I don't know, but
But if you did know, you wouldn't have to believe, would you?
so yeah, that's why I prefer console gaming. I mean, another thing is too, I know this is nitpicking, but consoles are just better looking to me than a motherboard. A motherboard is this big, ugly, clunky thing.
At this point, I'm convinced you don't even know what a motherboard is. That would explain why earlier you said that only a good one is at least $900, which even if you were referring to the whole PC would still be wrong, you would just be less wrong. These are motherboards. You screw this to your case, and then you put all the bits on them. It's kind of like a spinal column, but for your computer, everything attaches to it, and it keeps it all together. Your computer needs it, but it is not by itself your whole computer.
But consoles are very sleek and sexy.
Oh, right. Consoles look better. Well, I mean, maybe it's subjective. I suppose you could say if you like a console looking better, that's perfectly acceptable. I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I mean, I kind of thought the GameCube looked all right. Boo! Unsubscribe!
The Xbox Slim for 360, that is like the sexiest console I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Oh, I know. Don't get me started.
The curves, and then, you just want to make love to it, really. It's just a sexy fucking machine.
Oh, yeah, those curves. Wait, curves? The Xbox 360 Slim didn't have any curves. I mean, yeah, you could still fap to it. It was hard, granted, but you could still do it.
I've never seen anything better looking than an Xbox 360 Slim.
Well, I have.
I wish the Xbox One had a slim version, but maybe one day. But I know this is stupid,
Remember, YouTube, he said it, not me.
but I actually still play 360 for that very reason. It's because I like the slim, man.
You weren't wrong.
It's just such a good looking console, and it's so cool looking. But I know I'll eventually have to update. But anyways, guys, that's my video. I mean, I probably left out a few things, but
earlier, didn't you say...
There are many reasons, but...
I thought there were many reasons. You said like 3, and they were all wrong. So, it's not very convincing.
I don't want to nitpick that much, and
Well, when you're trying to argue that the console is better than the PC, you're kind of forced to nitpick. This isn't your fault, Punky. This isn't your fault. You're just trying to come up with reasons as best you can, when really, when you look at things through a more objective lens, you're not given a lot of ammunition.
let it just be known, too, that... Look, man, you like what you like. I'm not trying to necessarily pick on PC gamers.
Well, that was true. Yes, you can like what you like, and you can prefer the console, and I can't ever tell you that you're wrong for preferring the console. However, the problem comes in when you spread misinformation about the PC, when you misrepresent it, when you tell lies either through malice or through ignorance. And Punky, I just think you're ignorant on the subject. You didn't even know what a motherboard was. I don't think you're stupid. I just think that you don't know really anything about the PC.
I just think console gaming is better. That's my own opinion, though. And I know I'm going to get people telling me that their motherboard, is 10 times more powerful than my Xbox.
I was actually about to correct you and say PC, not motherboard, but thinking about it, I'm like, gosh, maybe there actually are motherboards out there that are more powerful than the Xbox.
And you know what, man? You're right. It is more powerful. I'm sure it can run a much greater frame rate, and I'm sure it's got much better, fucking lines of pixels. What is it? Probably 4K.
It doesn't even have to go up to 4K. Just a PC, a middle-tier PC, even some lower-end ones, can sustain 60 frames per second at 1080p at most games without an issue, and that would still put them leaps and bounds ahead of the Xbox One. Heck, if I could guarantee all my games were 720p 60 frames a second, I would still choose that over having an Xbox One.
I don't think they make 8K computers yet, but...
Oh, no, don't worry, they do.
I could be wrong, but even if it is 8K, I can tell you guys this much, alright?
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your anuses for the bombshell he's about to drop on you.
Don't feel so cocky. You know why? Because eventually, man, there will be an 8K Xbox. Yes, it could happen. There's no reason why it won't.
There's about 17 trillion reasons why you will never see an 8K Xbox. People would hardly touch a $600 PS3. Do you know how much money it would cost you to have an Xbox One running at not even 1080p 60 frames a second, right? Not even 1440p, not even 4K, but 8K. Do you know how much you know what 8K is? Let me throw some numbers at you. Bam! 1080p has 2,073,000 pixels, all right? 1440p, 3,686,000 pixels. 4K is 4 times the pixels of 1080p approximately. 8K, 33 million pixels, over 16 times the amount of pixels that 1080p does. Now, your Xbox can barely chug out a 1080p game at a horrible 30 frames a second and at terrible looking graphics. 8K, we're talking 16 plus times the amount of pixels per frame. I mean, the Xbox One, the second box there in magenta, that's what it looks like with a size comparison between that and 8K. It is a huge difference. To quote Fitz in the Tantrums, you were out of my league.
PlayStation is coming out with a 4.5. It's 4K.
A $400-ish PlayStation 4.5 will be outputting images in 4K that are up-resed from their native resolutions. It is not possible for $400 for a machine to play games in 4K.
I mean, that's just a small step down from 8K, so don't think it won't happen, guys. It will.
Up-resing a 720p image up to 4K is not even in the same universe as native 8K. They are nowhere near one another.
And all I can say is, when Xbox runs in 8K, I hope that shuts up all these fucking little fanboys,
When the day comes that the Xbox One is outputting native 8K video games, I will gladly spread my ass cheeks for you. But that day will never come.
I'm sick and tired of people feeling like they're so much better,
We don't think we're better than you. We just have better toys. The only person name-calling here is you.
I don't think I'm better than anyone else because I play Xbox. It's just my own preference. But I believe console gaming,
Well, 1.6 billion people believe that Allah is the one true God and Muhammad is his prophet, but that doesn't make him right. You can believe in it all you want, and that's one thing, but look, you're not going to get 8K consoles. It's just so far out of their league. They can't even do 1080p 60 frames per second consistently.
Personally, I think Xbox is better because it runs more apps.
More apps than the PC? No. No, absolutely not. It does not. It absolutely does not. The Xbox One does not have more apps on it than the PC. That's ridiculous. I mean, the PC is an open platform. How could a closed platform... No. And really? Is that the most important thing about a console? Is how many apps does it run? I mean, if that's the most important thing to you, then, I mean, go for it, man. But I've never actually heard that used as a reason as to why people prefer one or the other.
But I just think console gaming in general is better than PC gaming. But you know what, man? If you like using a keyboard and a mouse, more power to you, dude. I just personally don't really see the point of it.
Utility, precision, competitiveness. The fact that a keyboard and a mouse is cheaper than a controller.
In 2016, using, you know, this primitive shit like a keyboard.
Just because something is old or primitive, as you say, doesn't mean it's any less effective. If I hit someone upside the head with a big rock, like cavemen used to do tens of thousands of years ago, that would still kill them. They would still kill them dead. We just have better ways of conducting warfare now. And until we come up with a better alternative for a keyboard and a mouse, we will continue to use them, despite how primitive you say that they are.
I don't really understand it. You don't need that many buttons to play a game. That's just kind of ridiculous, but...
Ever played Arma?
Again, man, to each their own. So this is my video. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Punky Jay. I'll make a video soon showcasing my new TV monitor I'm going to get. I'm going to buy a 24-inch RCA for only $100. Runs 1080p, which is not bad at all. So I'm going to showcase that in my next video, and I'll show you guys my setup. And just remember, guys...
How very exciting.
You don't have to spend a lot of money to have a good fucking gaming rig, okay?
Truer words were never spoken, Punky. I'm actually glad that you brought that up. That seems to be one of the biggest bits of misinformation that is floating about there about PC gaming. I'm glad you cleared that up.
Don't feel like you gotta buy some fancy fucking motherboard and...
Preach on, Punky. Preach on. You're right. You don't have to buy a very fancy motherboard.
You know, fancy fucking everything else, guys. You don't need that shit, okay?
Exactly. You don't need that stuff. It's just an option for you if you want to spend the bucks. You don't need it. Exactly. You got this, Punky. Keep going, man.
A console is really all you need, you know?
Exactly, Wait, what?
Honestly, like... I really doubt the human eye can see much more than 60 frames per second anyway.
No! No! No, Punky! No, you were doing so good! What happened? You were doing so good. Of course the human eye can see past 60 frames a second. The human eye doesn't see in frames per second. It's a different...
Maybe it can, maybe I'm wrong.
As a PC gamer with a high-end rig, I can personally guarantee you that you can see and feel the difference.
But I mean, unless you're talking about like 4K, 8K...
Again, and look, no disrespect, Punky. I really don't think you fathom how big 4K and 8K actually are.
Lines of pixels. I really don't think frame rate is that big of a fucking deal anyway, so...
Again, Punky, this isn't your fault. You've never played a game above 60. You're not gonna really know the difference. Just like how I didn't appreciate the difference until I got a PC. Frame rate is everything. Frame rate is paramount to the gaming experience. It is more important than I believe you realize.
Honestly, man, that shit doesn't really impress me, so don't...
You know, Punky, I really think it actually would impress you if you actually saw it with your own eyes. If you actually played it with your own hands. Frame rate is not just to be seen, it's to be felt.
Again, guys, this is my opinion. This is not a hate video. Fucking little fanboys, you know. Fucking little fanboys, you know. Fucking little fanboys, you know.
Your words, not mine.
If you're gonna hate me, that's fucking fine. I really don't give a shit. I mean, look at me. Look at my room. You really think I care? I don't.
I'll say this, Punky. I wish everybody shared that attitude.